Today, we're going to be talking about emotional self-regulation. When we talk about emotional self-regulation, it helps for me to think about it this way. I pretend that I have a pet, and it's a grouchy ape. And this ape is pretty cool. It can do some cool stuff. Like, he's pretty smart, he's creative, he can be funny sometimes. He's like a pretty cool ape. But also, between you and me, he's kind of a hothouse flower. So, he likes sleeping like 8 hours a night, and he really dislikes staring at a computer screen for like 2 or 3 hours in a row, which is really inconvenient for me because I need the ape to do a lot of computer work. So it's not convenient for me that he doesn't like doing that. I can force him to do the things that I want him to. I can force him to not get enough sleep. I can force him to sit at the computer. But if I do that, he's going to act out. So I can force him to sit at the computer for 2 or 3 hours, but I can't force him to be productive. And he'll find nice little ways to squander that time. Or if I don't let him sleep enough, he'll be grumpy and ruin things around me. The essence of emotional health, so the essence of emotional self-regulation is emotional health. And the essence of emotional health is treating yourself the same way that you would treat a beloved pet. Like if you had a dog and you locked it up in your room all day and you never took it for walks and you fed it horrible food and you didn't give it love and affection, like of course that dog is going to act out, right? And you are the same way, that you need certain things to have emotional health. So feed your ape well, take it out to play, give it lots of love and affection, just like you would for a pet that you really care about. You need to treat yourself in the same way. When I was younger, I was all about willpower. I thought I could just will myself to do anything. Like whatever behavior I wanted to see in myself, exercise, studying, work, like I could just force myself to do it through willpower. The problem with that is that it is exhausting. And yes, you can do that for a limited period of time. You can do that in the short run, but it starts to wear you down after a while. As I've gotten older, I start to focus less on forcing myself to do things, less on relying on willpower to get things done, and instead I focus more on creating the right conditions for me to do things. A farmer cannot make wheat grow, right? A farmer cannot make their crops grow. All a farmer can do is till the field and plant the seeds and water them and care for them and create the right conditions for growth. And that's how I think about my relationship with myself, that I cannot force myself to do things, but what I can do is create the right conditions so that I'm able to do the things that really are important and meaningful to me. And that's essentially when we talk about emotional self-regulation, the foundation of emotional health is treating yourself well, is giving yourself the things that you need to be happy. And this isn't the same as self-indulgence, right? That if you feed your dog treats all the time and let it just sit around and lay around all day and do nothing, that's not treating your dog well either. That's not treating your pet well either. And so treating yourself well doesn't mean being indulgent with yourself. It means understanding what you need to be healthy and then having the discipline and the thoughtfulness to provide those things for yourself. So what are those things? The first one is sleep. Sleep is the biggest predictor of mood on a day-to-day basis. And we know that. If I want to put you in a really bad mood, all I have to do is not let you get any sleep. And on the other hand, if you're in a really bad mood and you get an opportunity to sleep for 10, 12 hours, that often puts you in a very good mood, right? And so sleep is the best thing you can do, the easiest thing you can do to improve your emotional health, and it's free, it's accessible all of the time, right? So make sure you get enough sleep. Next thing is exercise. Exercise is incredibly important for emotional health. I think you're supposed to get like at least 20 minutes of cardio 3 times a week. That'd be like a minimum. But even that can have a huge impact on your emotional health and well-being. I mean, just like your pet dog or whatever, we are animals and we need to get out and be active. We need to use our bodies, and exercise is how we do that and how we create that emotional health. You also need to interact with people that love and respect you. We often, in American culture especially, we have this idea that we're going to have our own self-image, our own self-esteem that is independent from the opinions of anyone else about us, right? That we don't care what other people think about us. We only care what we think about ourselves. That's just not how humans work. So much of our self-esteem, our self-image is based upon the people around us, the people that we interact with. And that's not a bad thing. That just means that we have to be very thoughtful about making sure that we hang out with people that see the best in us, that appreciate the best in us. And, several times a week to spend a meaningful amount of time and have meaningful connections with people that enjoy our company as well. Another thing that we need to do in order to be happy is play. It just like there was a point in my life, especially in like grad school, where it just felt like every single minute of my day was devoted in some way to self-improvement or trying to get ahead in school, at work, whatever it was. If I took 1 minute to not be productive, then I would feel really guilty about that. And it creeps into my hobbies too. So I got into rock climbing. I was into rock climbing in grad school, and it's not enough to go out and rock climb and have fun. It's like, oh, I got to get better at rock climbing. I got to get better at rock climbing, and that ends up ruining it, right? And then I get into martial arts, and I really enjoyed martial arts, and it was the same thing. Like, oh, you got to get better. You got to get better, and it ruins it. And when I say play, what I mean is this activities that have no goal, that the purpose of the activity is the activity. You're not trying to build yourself up into anything better. You're not trying to be successful for some materialistic reason. That the purpose of the activity is the activity. And that doesn't mean that you can't, like I play ukulele now and I really enjoy playing ukulele, and I obviously try to get better at it, try to learn songs, but my ego isn't tied up in it. If I have a busy week and I don't play ukulele a lot, I'm not like, mad at myself for not learning a new chord or whatever it is. That it's like, I do it because I enjoy it and only for the sake of enjoying it. And I like learning new things with it because I like learning new things, but I'm not going to critique or judge myself for not learning enough on ukulele, which is an activity specifically designed to be playful, to be fun. So you have to have activities like this, unstructured activity in your life. Our brains, our minds just need to have fun sometimes. One of the best things you can do for emotional health is put away your phone. We spend so much time on our phone. Like, our minds need time to do nothing sometimes, and that used to naturally occur in our life while we were sitting at a red light, while we're waiting in line at a grocery store, while we're waiting for class to begin. We used to just have moments of nothingness in our life where our mind could wander. But smartphones have taken that away completely, right? That there are no moments, no little brief pauses in your life for reflection, because always in your pocket you have access to this little world that you've created that's unique to you, right? What's going on in your smartphone, no one else has that same thing. And that's kind of the irony of social media, that it's like social media and yet it's very individualistic. But you get sucked up into your phone, and it's just it's meaningless. Like, it occupies your mind with just meaningless. It's like eating Twinkies. Like, there's no nutritional value to it. You're occupying yourself, but in this way that is just utterly devoid of purpose or benefit. I heard someone say this. I was hanging out with someone and their phone rang, and she was just like, "Shut up, phone! You ain't the boss of me." And it's true that like we act like our phones are our bosses, right? We get a text message and it's like, oh, I have to answer that now. We get an email, I have to answer that now. Social media notification, it's like our phone is constantly demanding our attention. That is not the relationship you're supposed to have with your phone, right? Your phone is a tool that you use for your purposes. You don't exist for the sake of the phone. The phone exists for the sake of you. One thing I started doing is I got a key holder like this for my place. And when I come in the door, I put my keys on it, which is great because I don't lose my keys all the time. And then I put my cell phone there. And if I need to use my phone, then yeah, I'll get up and go get it. But just that psychological freedom of not constantly having my phone at my side has been such a relief. Like I didn't realize the extent to which my phone was always kind of occupying my attention until I got rid of it. And now the phone's there if I need it, if I choose to use it. I'm not there to react to the phone. The phone is there to react to me.